Hi folks, Mike Lynch here from Barna Financial Group, where my team helps you create and implement financial plans to help you achieve your life's great desires. Now today is another deep dive video, folks. I know you like these, and this one is all about saving taxes today and tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow after that. I'm going to take you behind the scenes on a tool that we use to help our clients achieve tax allocation. Now, everybody's heard about asset allocation. That's talking about bonds and stocks and cash and what sort of proportions you use to get the best ride possible out of these bumpy financial markets. But, you want to go up. We believe that what you also have to do is you have to do tax allocation. Because, folks, here's the deal. It's not what you earn or even what your investments earn. It's what you get to keep and what you get to spend. What we want for our people is when they need money to have the biggest possible after-tax check that they could ever have. So we want to save them tax today and tomorrow. So what this is going to be is we call this our tax control diamond, okay? And what we're going to look at are the different places where you can have your money. Now what's going to distinguish these places is one, is there a tax break, or what is the tax consequences when you put the money in? That's the first thing we're going to look at. Number two, what happens when the money grows, okay? What happens when it grows? Are there taxes on the growth? Three, what happens when you take the money out? Because after all, folks, it's all fine to be tax deferred, but if you can never use your money, what are you going to do with it? It's not going to be that helpful to you, or it's just going to go to somebody else. And four, what are the restrictions on the account? What are the terms? That says rest stop, restroom restrictions, okay? What are going to be the restrictions? So that's what we're going to be looking at in today's video, okay? So the first place that you could have your money, we call these taxable accounts. Now, one of the things we call them is bucket A. These are tax me 3-time buckets, and that sounds terrible. And what do I mean by that? Well, when the money goes in, it goes in after tax. Now, it's not specifically picked on for taxes. It just recognizes if you're not doing anything illegal in this country, and if the money's not coming from tax-free tips or tax-free overtime under the current tax code, then you're going to have paid income tax before you can invest that money. That's it. When the money grows, it's going to be taxed at whatever rates occur. So if it's a bank account, what are here? Checking accounts, brokerage accounts, bank accounts, just regular accounts. Many of you this year got 1099 interest. If you have a large amount of cash, you better have gotten one because your money better be earning interest. So you pay in the year that the taxable event occurs. And then, folks, if you got to sell it on the way out, it could be taxed again as a capital gain. So that's taxed 1, 2, 3 times. Sounds awful. Sounds awful. But it's not awful, right? Because we get to what are the restrictions? Well, the restrictions are none. It's your money. You pay taxes, you go. You can use it for whatever you want as long as it's legal. And it gets even better because if it's dividends or if it's capital gains, the tax rates are lower than income. And if you're fortunate and you're in a 12% tax bracket, which you may be at some point in your life, the investments, the tax rate might even be 0, okay? So that's bucket A, and that's a tax me 3 times bucket. Next bucket is going to be bucket B, or tax deferred accounts. I call these tax me later accounts, right? And you're going to see why. When the money goes in, unlike the first bucket, it goes in pre-tax, so it lowers your taxes. If you invest $5,000 in your workplace plan, you have $5,000 less of income, $5,000 less of adjusted gross income. When the money grows, that's a delta sign, folks. When the money grows, there's going to be no tax. But what happens when it comes out? Any guesses? Yes, it's taxed as ordinary income on the way out. And folks, it is going to be your highest tax rates. And the reason why is it's the last dollar out, it goes on top. So while it goes in, it makes you very happy. When it comes out, sometimes it might make you sad or angry. Now we get to the restrictions on this. what are the restrictions for this bucket? Well, if you think of this, you won't be wrong. You can't have it when you need it, and when you don't want it, you got to take it. Can't have it when you don't want it, you got to take it. What do I mean by that? Well, they're retirement accounts. It's not a scam. It's long-run money, long-run compounding. Absolutely fantastic. But if you take it prior to retirement age, 55, if you leave an employer plan, or 59 and a half in an IRA, there's a 10% penalty. And once you get to a certain age, it's pretty late now, 73 or 75 if you're born after 1960, you have to start taking the money out, right? Have to start taking money out. So that's a tax me later accounts. That's a tax me later accounts. All right, our next bucket. These we call them tax me never again. They're a combination, and they're the latest thing on the street, and they're new. Well, they're not that new anymore. They're new for me because I'm older, but they've been fantastic. So like bucket A, the money goes in here after tax. When it grows, like bucket B, it grows tax-free. This over here is A, this over here is B. I keep talking about that. Now, when the money comes out, if it's taken out under adult supervision, it's 100% tax-free. 100% tax-free. What are these? Roth accounts, Roth IRAs, your Roth 401k, 529 plans for education. We're going to talk more, really deep dive into that later. A couple of videos, some other videos we're going to do. Cash value life insurance, if it's used properly, can be fantastic. And municipal bonds, okay? And municipal bonds. Now, what are the restrictions? It's a retirement account. So we think, well, we can't have the money. But if it's an IRA, it's got a lot fewer restrictions than the bucket B. You can take out what you put in at any time without taxes. For example, I put in $5,000 a year for 10 years, and it grew to, so I put in 50, and the money doubled. It grew to $100,000. I want $50,000 for a boat, for a car, for a wedding, for a down payment for a house. I can take that 50 out and pay zero tax. I just have to leave the growth in till the qualifying event, which is 5 years of having an account or 59 and a half. All right. So our final one, folks, is going to be the favorite one, is a tax me never account. How do you like that? Never pay taxes again. Everybody loves this account, but it's very specialized. So like the bucket A or bucket B, the pre-tax account, the money goes in pre-tax. When it grows, there's no tax. And when it comes out, it's 100% tax-free. That's a tax me never account, folks. That's a tax me never account. What's the catch? There's a big catch. The big catch is it's for health care. It is a health savings account that's designed to pay qualified health care expenses. So the other catch is it's not a good account to die with. Now, if you're married and you die, it'll go to your spouse, and she or he could use it for tax-free. But if it goes to the next generation, it's 100% taxable at your death. Okay? So this is an account to use while you're alive. I'm going to have another video on a hack on that account, how you can actually use it for other stuff. So let's talk a little bit about why this might matter and why this stuff might not matter, what we're talking about here. Okay, first, why this doesn't matter. Now, it doesn't, we're going to assume here for this that the federal taxes are 22%. You're living in a state that you pay taxes at 5%, and that on balance then you're paying 27%. So one reason it doesn't matter is this. If you're in the same tax bracket and you account for the taxes that you paid to put in the Roth, it doesn't matter. You put $10,000 in, you make 8% return, 20 years, $10,000 a year, excuse me, it's $457,000. If you were to take it all out, you pay $123,000 in taxes, and you end up with $334,000, right? That's a lot of taxes, you're unhappy. However, if we go and we look, what if we did this same exact apples-to-apple comparison in a Roth IRA, you're going to see you get to the same result. So again, what we're doing now is we're 27% marginal tax. Now we put $10,000 in, we account for the taxes we pay. So we're really putting $7,300 in. You're getting 8% taxation, it's $334. You can see it's exactly the same. So if it doesn't matter, why do we bother? Why did I just waste all your time talking about this? Well, because in the real world, here on planet Earth, it matters a lot. So here's why it does matter, okay? Let's say that you want some money. Call it $50,000 for a lump sum. It's a wedding. It's a beautiful vacation. It's a down payment for a second house, a house for a child. Who knows? It's going to come from an investment account. Now, it's going to matter a great deal what account this is going to be from. So, if we look, the first thing you need to know is that when you start taking large withdrawals, a lot of times you move yourself up the tax brackets. So what we're going to assume is that your current rates with your money coming out is 27% income tax, and the capital gains are going to be 20. The new rates, you're going to move yourself into 24% tax bracket. You're going to move up the state a little bit, and so now you're going to pay 3% more income tax. Capital gains stay the same. So it's a little bit higher tax rate, but that's not even going to be the real problem, as you're going to see. It's a little bit of a problem, but it's not the real problem. So, how much do I need to take? Well, if you take out of your pre-tax account, you have to take out $71,000. You pay taxes of $21,000 just to spend $50,000. So I have a question for you. I oftentimes ask my clients, does this make you happy or does this make you sad? The answer is, it makes you sad. You don't like that. So you say, okay, you go to a Roth, 50,000 equals 50. That's nice, isn't it? Remember, you paid the price already because you already paid the taxes. And the last one, this is the one that shocks everybody. It shocks me, but I do it constantly for my clients. Again, we want $50,000. What's the assumption? The assumption in this account is that half of it is gains and half of it was put in. In other words, I have a $100,000 account. I invested $50,000. I have $50,000 of cap gains. Okay? So it stands to reason if I'm taking out $50,000, half of my withdrawal is going to be taxable. Half. Half of it is taxable at 20%, which means I'm paying at 10% tax. You have to divide the amount you need by 1 minus your tax rate. So it's not $5,000, it's $5,556 in taxes to get $50,000. Now remember, folks, this account right here is all available. So it's not that one is better than the other, they're different. We don't want to ever concentrate on only one thing. The reality of it is, if I may end on this and bring you back a little bit, when we are building up our life, we get directed really into this account over here. We get directed into the Bucket B account. I'm 56. When I started, there was no Roth IRAs. My first account was a 403B. My Social Security is going to be a 403B. It's going to be after tax. So what happens is, if we're left our own devices, this account gets to be where all our money is. And we start feeling very trapped. Because when we want to come a big amount out, we have to say divide the amount we want in our pocket by 1 minus the tax rate, pay all these taxes, and we don't use our money. So what we look to do, working with a lot of young people, we get our clients set up now. What do we want? We want allocation. Yes, we're going to have big money in this account. This, just like we earn our income now, we pay tax on our income now, we're going to pay income taxes in retirement as well. But we also want to have big money in Roth type accounts, and we also want to have big money in taxable accounts. So when we need to get those extra dollars, or we want to get extra income in a very tax-favored basis, we can get that income. All right, folks, so I hope this video has been helpful. Hope it's given you some information. Look, I've given you the tools here. You can break out the spreadsheets, and you can always do this stuff at home by yourself. But if you feel that you want some help, give our team a call. We'll take good care of you. We'll help you analyze it. We'll help you get set up. We like to say this, we'll focus on your finances so you can focus on your life.